What's up, Internet? You're tuned in to episode 8 of Nintendo Noise, Flip Screen Games' weekly Nintendo podcast. I'm your host, Peace and Bessie is what I almost just said, which is, I'm going to go with it. Peace from Pete and Bessie.
It's that your hippie name.
Yeah, that's my hippie name. Joined as always by my very good friend, Mr. Steven Radford.
Hello.
And the mayor of Haken himself, Mr. Chuy Huerta.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. Welcome back, boys.
I'm a bit insulted you didn't give us hippie names as well. You know, you give yourself cool Peace and Bessie, and we're just left with some boring old normal names.
God, you put me on the spot here. You know, that was an accident, and we rolled with it. It was a good piece of improv. Now I'm already in the yes and stage. What would you pick for your hippie name?
I don't know. I think I'd be something weird like River.
I mean, mine is already like pretty naturally hippie. Huerta in Spanish is like orchard or garden. So.
Oh my God! Yeah, you've already got
That's
that
cool.
thumbing.
Yeah, you're already there.
No wonder you like farming games.
I do.
It's
and
in
trees,
your blood.
So many trees.
Oh, that's awesome. So welcome back to another episode of Nintendo Noise, everybody. Of course, let me tell you that this episode of the show is brought to you for the last time by our Patreon producers for the month of September. 2 months in, we're still going, guys. You know, I'm feeling pretty good, right? We haven't sunk this ship yet. So, of course, these folks are Christopher Valens, a.k.a. That Doc Guy, Zaid Ida, and Wakahula. Thank you all so much for your support over on I almost just said flipscreen.games. I'm all mixed up today. Patreon.com/flipscreengames. Thank you so much for your support over there. We appreciate y'all. All three of you have been doing it since before the first episode, so we really appreciate your continued support over there, as well as everybody else who supports us over on the Patreon. Speaking of which, let me jump into some housekeeping before we get into the meat on this episode, because like we promised last week, we have a ton of indie game impressions. Chuy has played like 80 games, and we're going to talk about all of them and pick his brains on the ones that we haven't gotten to yet. And then, of course, in our talking point this week, we had to throw our hats in the ring on I think the most divisive part of last week's Nintendo Direct by a lot, which was the casting of the Super Mario Brothers movie. So, because we are the undisputed, masters of Nintendo conversation, we already told you who the hottest Nintendo characters were. We're going to come this week and tell you who they should have casted, and we're going to start our fan campaign this week, right? Because way I see it, the entire internet got together and bullied Sega until they changed Sonic. Not too late to do it for Mario, So we'll get that ball rolling right here this week, okay? But before that, like I said, let me just get through some housekeeping. Speaking of our Nintendo Direct, we have a Nintendo Direct special that we put out last week, a very special episode of Nintendo Noise. If you didn't catch it, you can go listen to all of our thoughts on last week's Nintendo Direct, which was a really, really solid one. And then you can also, if you want to head over to the Patreon, at the blue coin level or above, you can get access to our brand new perk, which is the Twitch archive of every one of our Twitch streams. From now on, will get archived over on the YouTube channel as an unlisted video that will just be there for patrons at the blue coin level or above. And we actually did a watch along with a bunch of you last week for that Direct. So if you want to watch our live reactions in real time along with the rest of the community, you can go check that out as well. And we'll start having all of our Twitch streams moving forward up there. So if you've heard us talk about our Twitch channel, but you haven't been able to make it out for a stream, or Twitch isn't your preferred platform, there's a whole new way for you to get all that content. So speaking of which, this Thursday on the Twitch channel, again, twitch.tv/flipscreengames, we're going to be jumping into the first chapter of Deltarune with Steve on the sticks. He's never played the game before. Very excited to get to watch him experience it for the first time. That was, of course, voted on by our patrons over on the Patreon this past week. So that's another one of the cool perks you can get at the blue coin level or above. So if you want to get that archive and be able to vote on what games we're going to play week to week, go check that out. And then speaking of, it's a lot of Patreon stuff. Usually it's just one bullet point. We got a bunch of new information this week, But of course, at any level there, you can get access to our show, One More Thing, where we keep the mics rolling and we talk about what's going on outside the world of video games. And this past week, Steve and I discussed my new cat and him kind of cementing his outdoor cat as an indoor cat. And then we transitioned that conversation about loving animals into which animals we thought we could beat in a fight. So conversation really ran the gamut. It was a good one. Go check that out. Best way to show your support is, of course, over on Patreon. But if not, we've got a ton of other content that you can check out for free, and there's a bunch of other ways that you can show your support. Of course, we've also got our sister show, the Flip Screen Games podcast, where this past week I gave my impressions on Deltarune Chapter 2, which I've completed. Now Chuy and Steve are getting into it this week, so we've got plans to do a spoiler cast probably in the next 2 or so weeks, so keep your eyes peeled for that, and make sure that if you're interested, if you've played the game or whatever, write in with your spoiler full thoughts, because obviously we talked around spoilers on Flip Screen Games this past week, but I'm really eager to be able to talk about all the nitty gritty and the fan theories and all that kind of stuff, and talk about some of the choices that we all made. So we actually have a new channel on the Discord this week just for Deltarune discussion, so that's a great place for you to go and send your questions for that spoiler cast. Speaking of the Discord, that is one of the many ways that you can get in touch and keep the conversation with us rolling, and get your thoughts right on the air during our question block segment or during our talking points. So come join the Discord, or you can write into us at questions@flipscreen.games, or go follow us on social media. We throw up a thread every week where we ask for questions as well. God, I'm tired. That's long housekeeping. I'm going to let Chuy talk now.
Really long.
Yeah, I got through it though. We got through it. Now we can get to the meat of the show, right? So, like I said, Chuy has first impressions on about 4 or 5 games this week. It's crazy. So I'm gonna let you jump in wherever you want to jump in and talk to us about them.
I don't know. We're in that point where just games are going to be coming out, and there were so many this past week, or the week before, I'd say, that came out that I was just like, yeah, I want to play that. Yes, to everything. And then there was also, I guess since we were talking about it pretty briefly, Deltarune Chapter 2 dropped on Switch. So I haven't played Chapter 1, though. I've played through Undertale, just one route, but, it was good enough to get the full, complete ending. That's the route I went with. I still have to do the other one.
Straight out the gate. He didn't tell me any of this before I played Undertale. I just went in blind. So I was just an awful person playing that game.
That's why you got to replay it.
I feel like
go back and do the true ending.
True, but I also think that's kind of the way to do it. Just go through it, play it whatever way you want to, and not knowing. And I think that just makes it more interesting. So I do like that Deltarune. I started it, and right now I'm just like, I don't know if I should be going for anything specific. I'm just gonna play this game and see what happens at the end of whatever's going on. And since it is coming out as like chapters and things, I think a lot of people are in that same boat at the moment, where at least that's my expectation of it. And I really like that, because I feel like the hardest thing about getting into Undertale is trying to play it and not have people constantly messaging you about like, you're playing it wrong, you're doing this wrong and everything. So I do like that I can approach Deltarune with like, whatever, I don't really know what's happening or what I'm going for, so I'm good.
I'm so glad that you two are both finally playing it, because I'm like dying to talk to you about it. And I'm glad that you're getting on with it well so far.
I'm dying to play it. I was meant to play it last Thursday, and then Nintendo so unhelpfully decided to drop a Nintendo Direct in the middle of our usual stream slot, so it didn't happen. So I've been patiently waiting, because all the patrons voted for us to play Deltarune. So I haven't been able to touch it until we stream.
Yeah. So it's nice so far. I'm excited to talk more about it. But I guess the games that I've given more time to, Eastward Toem and Skatebird. I know, Steve, you've been playing Skatebird as well, so we can talk about that, I guess.
Yeah.
It's got problems.
I gave it a glowing review on this week's Flip Screen Games podcast.
I'm pretty sure Steve just tweeted that Skatebird sucks. Like, I feel like that's what he said. Like, or called it dreadful or something. Like, it was you made no bones about how you felt about that game.
I feel sad, really sad about it being just pretty broken, I'd say. Because I went through it. I gave it enough time to see like what they were going for, but it's just like all buried under this like just bad controls, bad camera, bad bad. It's just not very playable
It's
is the
got a
problem.
51 on Metacritic, which we
It's
talked
really
about
not
that.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel so bad about it too, just because like I was really looking forward to the game. It's like a really great concept. It all lines up with my interests, skateboarding and birds. That's what I want out of life. But but yeah, I just like don't feel good telling people to go out and get it because it's just like you're gonna be struggling through the experience the whole time. It's such a bummer.
I like
Yeah, I think
really.
I was discussing it with Wakahula in the Discord, and we both came to the consensus that it just feels like a game jam demo that never got
Yeah.
finished and just published, and they never figured out how to put an interface on top or tell you what to do or tell you where to go, and you've just got these like clumsy controls when you first start, and you are just like you boot the game up, it's pick a bird, pick a board, and you just put in a room and doesn't really tell you what else to do next or that there are tasks you can
Are there
do
like
and like
objectives and
challenges you
stuff,
can
or?
complete. Yeah, but
Yeah.
none of that is obvious. I didn't
Yeah.
get to any of it until Chewy told me that that stuff existed and I went back and checked because it's
Uh-huh.
very difficult to find. It's not clear and not presented to you at all.
And is there
Yeah,
only
it
one map?
doesn't tell you at all. Sorry, what was that?
Is there only like one map?
From what I've seen, there are, I think, five or
Okay.
so. I have not made it past the first one. And I've probably gotten further than a lot of other people on it, but it's just like there are tons of missions, there's tons of objectives, and like a lot of them seem like really cool takes on like what Tony Hawk was doing with like the Underground series and that sort of thing. So there's stuff in there that I'm like, there's potential here, but it's just like it's not accessible in any way. The controls are so bad, the camera is bad, and like Steve was saying, it does not direct you in that direction at all. Like you're dropped in and you're just like, cool, I'm a bird skating around. Is this all of it? And you really just have to get lucky to run into another little bird there and then find out, oh, there's more. But I don't know. It's just like there's stuff they could fix about it, and I think in the future it could get good, but right now it's not. It's just it's whack.
It's so disappointing. Like I really
It
really
is.
wanted to love that game. It checks a lot of boxes for me as well. Um, and yeah, I don't know. It's funny because like it's free on Game Pass, so I was like, oh, I'll try it before we talk about it
Uh-huh.
on the show or whatever. Like I might as well. And I just didn't even get around to it because I'm like knee deep in so many games that I am like really actively hungry to play right now. So it's kind of like, am I really gonna like
Yeah.
go through the time to play this game that both of you have told me is not really worth playing?
Yeah, it free on Game Pass is the only acceptable way to try it out at the moment, unfortunately. So,
Which
I
is
don't know. I'm hoping they fix it up because from what I've seen, like and gotten further along, I'm like, oh man, there's potential here that you guys are just like not reaching, and that's the saddest part for me, where I'm just like, I can see there's like some love and care going to the series, but not enough of it, not enough care part because it's so broken at the moment.
such a shame.
Yeah. But the other two games that I've dug into are delightful. They are so much
Okay, good. I'm
better.
glad to hear that.
Yes, Eastward. What I love about this game is every single person, like leading up to this release, I'd ask them, like, do you know what Eastward is about? And they'd be like, no, but I know I want to get it. And I was in that same boat. I
Can
was
you
just like,
tell me
I've
what it's
known.
about now?
Yeah, so I have a much better idea. It's got two main characters. Shoot, I'm forgetting their names. One is just like John, and he's this old bearded, kind of hobo-looking dude with a frying pan. And the other is, oh man, I just saw her name, but I forgot. Anyways, their story very mysterious thus far. You don't really know what their relationship is. I think we're there's a little cutscene at the beginning that tells you like John found this girl just alone deep in the mines or so. But it's very like it's definitely got like this whole class storyline going where they're in this location. It's underground, under like the earth and everything, and it's just like workers are doing these jobs like growing food, digging through the mines and everything, and basically they're not allowed to leave that spot because the outside, everything outside of that world is like dangerous. So, the protagonist, one of them, the female protagonist, I wish I could remember her name.
I'll look it up.
She has seen the outside world and is telling people like it's pretty great. And then there's some people in this town that believe there's good things outside and it's not all just like this crappy setting, you know? And basically, the game itself is an action RPG. And it really reminds me a lot of like the overworld portions of the Mario and Luigi games where
Ooh,
you know you're
okay.
controlling Mario and you're controlling Luigi. It's a little bit different, like the buttons aren't aligned configured to be for each person. You just kind of like swap back and forth between the characters. And so the section I'm in right now has one of those segments where you're on either side of a wall, one person solving a puzzle to get the other person through their section, and you're just kind of like swapping back and forth to do that. And overall, it's like really charming. Like the combat isn't like a turn-based RPG. It's all like action RPG or in the overworld. Your weapon, like I said earlier, John's got a frying pan and some bombs, and so you can like hit bombs at people and then they'll like blow up, and it's pretty cool. The girl's powers, she's kind of like
Her name is Sam, by the way.
Sam, that's it. So Sam's powers, she can like shoot these magic waves at things that like stun enemies, and I haven't unlocked like a sub weapon for her at all. So basically there's certain segments of the game that she can only pass through because her magic is the only thing that destroys like this type of barrier kind of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really cool so far. I'm really liking the class stuff. Like at first, she was not allowed to go to school or something. I don't know quite what the reason was, but eventually, like John does well in the mines, and the mayor comes down, and she's like, he gets mad at them for not doing their work, and he just like saved the mine or whatever.
What the fuck?
It's all really messed up. Yeah, and so he's like, what's this girl doing here? Send her to school. And so you've got this whole side mission that's just like getting her into school, and then she's got like friends that go to school and they're just like hanging out after playing this other video game because there's like a whole another like turn-based RPG video game that you can play within this game as well.
Oh, that's
So,
cool. Okay.
yeah, I'm really liking it. It's really full of really cool, like mysterious world building, I think. I think there's this whole underlying tone that's like you don't really know what's outside, but you know you're just like headed in that direction for one reason or another, you know?
I'm looking up how long it is right now. So it looks
Yeah,
like the main story is like 17 hours, but like the completionist run is almost up to 30. It's like 27.
I can believe that because there's definitely like a lot of little secrets here and there that I found. It kind of like Zelda, you have little heart containers and you get 4 of them to get a new heart, basically. I've played probably about almost 4 hours, I would say, and I think I'm still on chapter 1.
Okay.
So it's been cool. It's got a really cool vibe to it. The art's really amazing, and I was playing it just before we were podcasting, and I was like, man, this is awesome.
I'm glad.
Uh,
That one really definitely like caught my attention. And it seems like a game I think I want to try to like maybe play that one over like winter break or something like that, you know?
yeah, I think it's gonna be a really special game for people, I think, as they get through it and everything.
How do
It
you
seems like it'll.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you
Oh
off.
no, go for it.
I was gonna say, how do you feel like it stacks up to the other games you've played this year? Like, is it like breaking your top 10?
Um, I guess I'd have to go through it a little bit more, but I'm already feeling like it's going to be in my top 10. Like it's
Cool.
something that I'm finding is going to be it's going to be special. I think this game, like if it gets picked up and, played by more people, it's going to be something that they didn't expect that they were going to get themselves into, which is nice.
I think that makes me want to get it before we have our Game of the Year discussion, and at least dip my toes in to kind of see how I feel. But I've just got so many games on my list. I know Metroid's around the corner, and I've got Far Cry, I've got Mario Party. There's the new Pokemon games. I want to still check out Death's Door. There's just so much on the list that it's just really, really hard to go. Yeah, you know what, we'll pick this up. Oh, and then I forgot Disco Elysium's just suddenly dropping at the beginning of October as well. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It is a time. There's way too many games coming out. Like, I wish this game had come out a couple months ago, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I think that would have been a good time frame for it, and it's kind of I'm bummed that it's coming out at such a busy time because I do think it's going to be one of the standouts for this time period for sure. The other one I played, Toem. This one is really interesting. It's a photography game. Basically, there's this phenomenon known as Toem, and you are just like a little kid going on your first like Pokemon adventure. It gave me those vibes where you're just like this kid going on your first adventure, and your grandma's like, "Oh yeah, you can see this Toem thing and see what it's all about." And so this one is a pretty short game. I rolled credits at like 4.5 hours on it. Yeah, so it's a quick one. But basically, like, you just go into the world and you'll talk to people. They'll have little missions for you. Some of them are like, most of them are like, take a photo of this for me, And as kind of like bland as it sounds, they make it really interesting in the sense of like, some of them are just like straight up, here's a photo challenge. We want to see these things, and others are like, you have to do certain stuff to make the photo opportunity appear, which is really cool. But I don't know, this one, I just like, as soon as I started playing it, I started it probably a little bit after I started Eastward, and this one just like, I couldn't put it down for like the first couple of hours.
Nice.
Which was nice. Yeah.
The art
So
style
this one's
of this
definitely in like your top 10 for the year?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot I really like about it. Especially like this one might be the game that like gets me into speedrunning, to be honest with you. Like I'm surprised at how well it's built around that. And like to the point where they're like on the home screen, they have the exact time that you spent to get through whatever part of the game and everything. So it seems like they really took that in mind. And
It's
I'm
cool.
just like, man, I might get into speedrunning here. But yeah, this one's really cool. I joined their Discord, and I do know like the creators are just like, they really wanted to make a game that was not violent in any way. So they really went for like no combat in it whatsoever. And they still managed to like do some really cool, interesting things with the gameplay. So yeah.
I don't know about no violence. I saw Pixelpar playing this and he managed to push someone off a bridge.
Oh, yeah,
Whoa.
that's true. That's true. So there is like one minor accident of somebody falling down.
One minor accident.
But they're happy
murder.
at the end of it. I think their comment is, that was fun.
Oh, okay,
So,
good.
yeah.
Wholesome pushing someone off a bridge.
Yeah, pretty wholesome. I think the cutest thing though is like it does have a little compendium for you, and you can take pictures of all the different creatures and different pets, especially. There's tons of cats, and you get achievements for taking pictures of all those cats and everything. I think it was like the gang's all here when I got my last picture of the last cat, and I was like, "Aw, they're
That's
little
cool.
cuties."
I love that.
Yeah, so both Eastward and Toem, I'm just like, yeah, those are the standouts, especially compared to Skatebird. I'm so sad Skatebird did not live up.
What a shame. So, Steve, I know you had one thing you wanted to chat about this week, which was something I didn't even know existed, which was you got to play Luigi's Mansion arcade cabinet.
Yeah, it was incredible. We walked into this arcade on Saturday, and I was like, holy shit, it's Luigi's Mansion. And there's this Capcom made arcade cabinet where you both sit in there, and it was so popular. We had to queue to get into it. Everyone loved this game. And you have the vacuum. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. And it's got like a button
Poltergust.
yeah, the
Poltergust.
Poltergust. That's it, the
Yeah,
Poltergust 5000. And it's all themed like Luigi's Mansion. The professor's there. You're going into the mansion. There's like multiple levels you can pick, multiple modes. And you like press the button, top button on the vacuum cleaner on the Poltergust to shine your light and shock the ghosts, and then you have to press and hold the button to suck them, and you like pull it around, and it's all like motion controlled, and there's like great haptics in there and stuff. It's really, really good fun. We played it a couple of times, and it was just an absolute blast. I would recommend finding one of these if you're a big fan of Luigi's Mansion, and just giving it a go. It wasn't that expensive, like a pound a go. And yeah, we had a good time with that. I just wanted to point people in its direction because everyone posted, everyone replied. I had no idea this existed, apart from DJ. DJ, the Content Lewis, was the only person that knew this game.
He's like, oh yeah, I own one.
Yeah, I could believe that. Yeah.
So funny. I looked up like a locations thing for it, and they're on the Mario Wiki. Oh no, not the Mario Wiki. Where was it? AU Arcade has 6 of them listed in the United States. 2 of them are in Utah. 3 of them are in Colorado.
Really?
Yeah.
I leave Utah just to find out they have something cool there.
Yeah, I know. And
That's a
then
bummer.
there's one in Maryland. I could probably. Oh no, it's in Missouri. Fuck, it's Maryland Heights in Missouri.
I
Damn,
wonder how many exist in the UK. Is there only the one?
that would be really funny.
Yeah,
Is that it?
it would be really weird.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but they cost. I'm seeing how much. I typed Luigi's Mansion Arcade UK. I could buy one for £22,000. So if we want to crowdfund the Luigi's Mansion Arcade cabinet for my garage, I'm totally up for that. And I'll do a video, and you all can come round, and then we'll know exactly where one of the cabinets is.
This is bullshit. We should put it in my house. No, Sarah won't let me do that. We put it in your house. I got enough in here. All right, so let's jump into our talking point for this week, which is recasting the Mario movie. So we, of course, we threw this question out on Twitter this week. If not Chris Pratt, then who? A bunch of you wrote in, and we have some of our own thoughts. But I'll take us through the actual casting, I guess, first, and then we can do our. We'll go through our our list as we can. I think I'm gonna try and see if I can pull this up for the YouTube kids.
Well, while you're doing that, are you both happy with the casting that was revealed? I know we've had a little bit of time to digest it. I think all 3 of us on the watch along was like, Chris Pratt? Really?
So I do have it pulled up now, so all the folks can see. So yeah, so of course, like you said, we got Chris Pratt and Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach, Charlie Day as Luigi, Jack Black as Bowser, Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek, Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong, and Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike. And then they have Charles Martinet confirmed in an unconfirmed role. So, to answer your question, I'm not happy with it, but I don't feel like I have as visceral a reaction as like the wider internet seemed to, just because it felt like this feels like the cast I kind of expected. Like, I know we talked about it a little bit on the Nintendo Direct episode where it's Illumination is the studio making this movie, and they're the team behind Despicable Me and the Minions, and like they've got chops and a track record of putting out movies that succeed and that are especially popular with kids and everything. But when they first announced that, kind of my initial thought was like, not to say that it'll be bad, but it's going to be this kind of movie, right? Like, it's going to be a movie that is very much, I'm sure it's going to have a lot of goofy, kind of like very child-friendly humor. It's going to have a bunch of celebrities in the voice roles, and it's going to be that kind of big budget animated feature, right? So, like, do I think Chris Pratt is a good choice for Mario? Not particularly, but that feels like that makes sense for the kind of movie that I'm assuming we're going to get, right?
I will say, I mean, Chris Pratt was what's the Lego Movie's lead character's name?
I'll look it up.
Emmett. It was
yeah.
Emmett. He was that, and I was like, oh, you know what? That's fine. Fine job.
Yeah.
The Lego Movie was solid, so I don't think it'll be like a terrible one. But like, can we get Idris Elba for Mario?
He's too busy on the Sonic movie. I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, Sonic
Knuckles
is
and
clearly
Mario.
gonna win.
Oh man. Yeah,
I'm really want him to be the next James Bond, so I don't want him to be just spread too thin.
he should be James Bond.
Yeah, we need to save Idris Elba for James Bond.
That's just a fact. Like, he would be such a good James Bond, but put that aside for now.
Since Daniel Craig is retiring.
Yeah, it's time. He's got to hang it up. He's been doing it for forever now. But I don't think all of them are terrible. Like, it's, like, I think a lot of people seem to agree that, like, Jack Black as Bowser was fine. Like, that's, like, a solid pick. I could see that
that's
working.
The only one, though, right? I think Anya Taylor-Joy. I mean, I could see her being fine as Peach.
I'm sure she'll be fine. I think that the bigger thing for me is, like, I saw somebody make the point of the problem with, like, celebrity casting for movies like this is that you get a lot of people who are, maybe good actors but are not particularly unique voice talents. Yeah. And that, I think, is my bigger issue with this list is, like, I like Anya Taylor-Joy, but, like, is her voice as Peach going to be something that's super unique, or is it just going to sound like a famous person doing Peach's voice?
I think she'll do all right, actually, because I know she speaks both Spanish and English, and I don't know, just something about that, like, you have a lot of range with your voice as far as things go when you speak a couple languages, so that will be nice. I'm not too worried about her. The thing that I thought
I'm not worried
was kind of a missed opportunity is, honestly, I would switch Charlie Day to Toad. That'd be my thing. I feel like Toad's got this just like wacky, I don't know, his voice is wild. I crack up at those videos that people do where it's like Toad singing this song, and I'm just like, man, I don't know.
And I'm worried about Charlie Day as Luigi. Like, I like Charlie Day fine. He was also in the Lego Movie and obviously, Always Sunny and everything. But, like, and I think he's got a great voice. Like, he actually is got a unique quality to his voice where I could see why you might pick him. But, like, Luigi, I don't think of as having his energy. Like, Luigi is like a scaredy cat and everything, and I think he could do that. But I feel like he's always, like, so hyper caffeinated, it's kind of like he plays that kind of character. And I could see that being Toad, right? As Toad, who's like a supporting comic relief, and he's running around like, all the time. Like, I could see that he's always getting hurt and, whatever. He's kind of filling that niche. I could see that. Whereas, like, him as Luigi feels like kind of a weird pick for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and I wanted to say, like, back to your point about, the obvious critique here is, like, Hollywood choosing another pretty, big cast members to do the voices and everything. The way I always describe it to people, and I'll be straight up with you all, I don't get the appeal of, what's his name? Who played Detective Pikachu? Ryan Reynolds?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I personally don't get the appeal. That's a side thing, but I want to tell you that.
I just wanted to take a shot at him while I had the chance.
I like Ryan Reynolds. Like, him playing Detective Pikachu is like, man, I just kind of picture Ryan Reynolds, Whereas, like, you see Rocket Raccoon, and I'm just like, I see Rocket Raccoon. I don't think of Bradley Cooper when I hear this character. So
I don't
like,
think of
there's
Vin
definitely
Diesel when I hear Groot,
see
right?
Groot. Yeah, exactly. Though now I do, just because I've been watching all the Fast and Furious movies. I'm on like 7
What?
now.
Chewy, I wanted to do that for one more thing because I haven't seen like most of them. We got to do it.
Yeah, have me on for that one because
Yo,
I've been watching them all.
We should do it. We'll watch every one of them.
But yeah, like that's a big thing with like, voice acting. It's just like I don't really want to picture the person doing that voice. Like I want to be able to like just picture the character and think like, oh, that was a really great performance as this character,
Yeah, and it's funny because like I think some people can do both. Like I think of like certain voice actors, like somebody like H. John Benjamin, right? Who like he only has like a few voices, but like most of the time, like his most iconic roles are just his voice. And like he does Bob in Bob's Burgers and he does Archer, who are two polar opposite characters who have the same voice, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just that he's such a good performer that it works for him, And like I kind of feel that way about like Seth Rogen. Like he's like a pretty solid voice actor, and I've seen him like he voiced a character in Invincible the first season, and like I didn't necessarily have that like immediate like, oh, this is just him, it's just his voice on this character. It felt like he was trying to do the character, So like it's gonna have a little bit of that, but I'm not super worried about that casting either. Like I could see Donkey Kong being played as like a goofy like bro type character, and I think he could totally nail that,
Yeah. Did you watch Sausage Party?
Yes. Oh my God, I haven't thought about that movie in forever since I saw it.
Well, it was the first thing I thought of with like Seth Rogen doing voice acting. I actually didn't watch it, so I was wondering like, was he just like Seth Rogen as a sausage?
Pretty much in that one. Okay. But that was like very much like it was a very like raunchy, like kind of thing, and I don't know, that movie felt like a thing like how much can we do and get away with on this budget, and like it felt like a real just like everybody's just throwing stuff at the wall, and it was, I remember thinking it was like funny in a disposable way at the time, like it's not a movie I've thought about or gone back to since I saw it, but I didn't walk out thinking it sucked. So but I was also a lot younger, so who's to say? I might not feel that way now.
Yeah.
But anyway, you guys, you ready to jump into this? We ready to?
Yeah, let's do it.
Start making some picks here. All right. So, do we want to do it in reverse order? Right, like save Mario for last because that's like the main event.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess so. And I really, and then we can talk about what everyone's written in as their suggestions for Mario.
Yeah, because nobody made any recommendations for other characters. It was all Mario. So
let's go. I only asked about Mario, to be fair.
Oh, okay, all right. Cool. All right, so we'll start with Spike then. So that's Sebastian Maniscalco, who I gotta say I'm gonna look up who that is because I really don't know who that is.
That is what I'm doing as well. I'm like, who is this? I've never heard of you.
It looks like he's a relatively new actor. Did stand up and then.
Oh, I know this guy. Okay, yeah, he's a stand up. I've seen his stand up before, and he was in Irishman and Green Book.
Oh, okay. I've seen both of those.
Yeah. So I don't have any particularly strong feelings about him. He's, I think, the only Italian on the list, which is maybe we could have let him be Mario, but whatever. But I don't feel like we necessarily need to recast him, but why not, right? Like, let's do it. Who do we want to be Spike? Spike is a random ass character. I have no thoughts about what Spike should sound like, so I feel like Spike for the fences on this one.
I kind of feel that it should be like a kid playing Spike.
Okay.
Like a devious, because he's like one of the Koopa Troopers.
Here, I'm pulling.
And I always see them as like little minions style things, But I don't know who. I just feel like it should be someone younger.
Yeah. I honestly don't know. Like Spike, is just a character I don't think about too much. Like you were saying, I just think of him just rolling those little spiky logs at me. So
Who's
I'm
like a
honestly
good
just
kid? I can't I don't like know child actors, right? Like what I don't remember the last time I saw a movie that had a child in it.
Oh, they usually just get someone from Stranger Things, and they just chuck them in anything these
They're all
days.
getting
That's
old
That's
true.
now,
about it, right?
but like I like them.
They're probably about that age, right?
All right, so what do you want? You want Finn Wolfhard? We want to make him Spike?
That'd be good.
Sure, okay. Is it Wolfheart or Wolfheart? Oh, wait, how's that? Wolfhard?
Wolf Hard.
hard.
RD, right? Wolfhard?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wolfhard. There we go. Yeah, I like that kid. He's cool. All right, sweet. So,
Oh my god, he's 18. And we're calling him a kid.
that's still a kid.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Now that I'm a tired old man, kids are in their 30s.
Yeah, anybody younger than me is a kid. Okay, so next up we got Cranky Kong, currently being played by Fred Armisen. Who do we think? Oh God, this zoomed in so far. Woo! I'm trying to show a picture of Cranky Kong, and it just like was a huge zoom in on his forehead.
It's him. I didn't know who Fred Armisen is, but I definitely do now.
Oh yeah, everybody. If you don't know him by name, you know Fred Armisen.
He was in 30 Rock, I'm sure.
He's in like everything. Yeah,
Yeah. Just
He's-
think Portlandia.
yeah. Or like a recent thing I know you've seen is he's in 2 episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine as that guy who plays
Yeah.
violin.
Yeah.
But he plays the riff and then he goes guitar, which pretty funny.
He's in 30 Rock, and he's the one that's auditioning for The Amazing Race, and Liz dubs him in because she's a total racist.
I do remember that. Yeah. Yeah, she turns him in for being a terrorist.
You know who I would like, and I really want Christopher Walken in this movie, and I feel like he could go
What a
into
fucking
Cranky
right
Kong.
out the gate. What an incredible fucking choice.
Yes. He's perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Christopher Walken.
Oh man. I already want that.
The other one I was thinking was maybe God, it was right on the tip of my tongue. Christopher Lloyd, Doc Brown.
Okay, yeah.
I could see him doing it
Oh
too.
yeah.
I think Michael Caine would have been good as well, but it depends if they want some like old British guy, and he usually plays like a butlery role.
I think he's too like, I think of Cranky as being like he's like a cantankerous old man. Not that Michael Caine couldn't do that, but I feel like when I think of him, I think of him more like even like an Alfred, like a more even keel, older figure, right? Like
a British gentleman.
exactly, yeah, like through and through. All right, I don't think we're gonna get better than Christopher Walken. I'm happy with that right out the gate. All right,
like
so then we got Kamek next, who is currently Kevin Michael Richardson, who's another person I'm gonna have to look up because I don't really remember him.
So he's a voice actor. He's most famous for playing Joker in the Batman animated series from
which
2004
one?
to 2008.
Oh, so he's the guy who replaced Mark Hamill. I don't
guess
like
he
that.
he's in Invincible at the moment.
Who is he in Invincible?
I'm looking it up. It's loading up slow for me
Kevin
here.
Michael Richardson. I feel like I know who that is, but
Hey, he was in
Mallard
Malcolm
Twins?
in the Middle.
oh yeah. No, I remember this guy. Okay. He's also he's like Goro in Mortal Kombat. He's Gantu and Lilo. Yeah, he's like a
He's
bunch.
in everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy
Rugrats in
seems
Paris,
like an
the movie.
actual like voice.
Yeah, he's a
actor
legit
here.
voice actor.
I feel like he'd be good, but he's playing a villain, so I feel like James Earl Jones would probably be better.
As
And
Kamek? No way! Get the fuck
not?
out of here! I
that's
can't.
the kind of voice that this guy's going to bring to it, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's got like a deeper voice, but like I can't imagine Kamek sounding like that.
No, Kamek's like high pitch, like
Gilbert Gottfried is like who I'm thinking.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh,
It's somebody with an annoying voice. Like
I'd almost throw Gilbert Gottfried for Toad at that point.
that's not a bad one. That's not a bad one. Do we want to just lock that one in?
What Toad is
Gilbert Gottfried. What do we think about that?
I feel like he's obnoxious enough to be Toad.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the other thing, I always considered Toad to be canonically Russian, and I don't know why.
What
in
the
my head
fuck?
that it was Russian. That's how I feel.
You know what, Jackie, the first time she saw Toad, she was like, what is this baby Aladdin looking kid?
He does have like a little genie outfit. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it is like someone giving you Turkish tea or something.
He's like a vest. He's a vest without a shirt. Like he looks like he's ready to go clubbing. Like
I can see it. We could keep Gilbert for Kamek. I think that's a fun.
You want him? Okay, we'll put. I like him for Kamek. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Bring some Iago energy to the part, you know. Oh Jesus Christ! There we go. No. Okay, we got it. All right, next up we got Mr. DK himself, Donkey Kong.
I'm sorry, there's only one person for this role, and everyone knows who it is. It's Ed Helms.
It's Ed Helms.
Ed Helms is Donkey Kong. He's got the smile. He's got the energy.
He can
Ed
do the
Helms is
mocap.
Donkey Kong. Yeah, exactly. He's been cheated out of this role by Seth Rogen. So let's get Ed Helms in as Donkey Kong.
Okay.
Put him right back in his role.
All right, sure. Sure, why not?
Hilarious.
Okay, so for Toad, we've currently got Keegan Michael Key. You messed me up with that Ed Helms thing, man. Okay.
I liked Charlie Day here.
I feel like we
I did
shouldn't
like
use
what you
any
had
of the
to say about
original
that.
cast, though. I feel like that should be the rule.
Okay.
Hmm.
Maybe a kid again, but like someone even younger.
Who are you putting in this role?
I don't know.
You got to think about it. Who's like annoying? Who's an annoying actor? Who can do an annoying voice?
Annoying.
Man, the thing is, like, it's probably going to be just regular Toad who's annoying, but I feel like if it were like Captain Toad, they'd be really cute. Captain Toad is like cute Toad. Regular Toad's annoying Toad.
Right, okay.
I wish
Number
it was
2 on the list of most annoying actors, or the actors that people find most annoying, is Owen Wilson. And I could see with that wow voice. Wow,
Mario.
I could see him being really, really fucking
What about
annoying.
Ray Romano? No, he's Italian. We got to save him. So I'm upset because I wish we were casting Toadette because I found a perfect voice for that, and it's Kristen
Who?
Shaw.
Oh yes, get her in for Toad. I'm fine with that.
All right. How do you
I
feel
feel like
about
she
that,
could do
Chuy?
it.
Yeah, she could be Toad.
All right, let's do it. Throwing her on the list. I think it's Shaal. Is that right? That doesn't look right. We'll find out. No, I was right. It is. Okay, look at that. All right, Kristen Shaw on the board. I dig it.
I love her so much. She's so good.
She's great. She's a fantastic voice actor. Okay, so we're moving up to the Toad's like in the main cast, right? Of course, but like we're getting to like the big names now. We got Bowser, Jack Black, the only one anybody liked, but we're still gonna recast them.
Oh no, really? I wanted to keep Jack Black.
He's the only.
so
I
good.
said we can't keep. We shouldn't keep anybody. You just want to keep him?
Yeah, Jack Black's I feel like Jack Black's perfect, right? Unless you can think of someone.
I do.
Idris Elba.
Honestly, that would be kind of hilarious because like the reason I feel like Jack Black works so well is that like, I think of Bowser as like he's a big guy, he's got big energy, and like obviously Jack Black can bring that to the table, but like he's also like so ineffectual and like bumbly that like that works for Jack Black's like, oh, like I'm a big goofy guy kind of energy, like I can see that. But the idea of Idris Elba having to play that same character would be so fucking funny because he's so like effortlessly cool, and his voice is so amazing.
Is Idris playing with his like Baltimore accent, or is he going in British?
I think he's going in with like a Baltimore. Like he's got a. I don't think they're gonna make Bowser British.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. That feels like a choice. I mean, you know what? You could though. He's an imperialist, right? I mean, he's trying to conquer kingdoms all the time, left and right.
Okay.
I don't know. Hey, we have any front runners? Anybody coming to mind for you on this one?
No one really cropped up for Bowser because I was set on Jack Black.
I think
my heart was set on it, and that was the problem.
It's reaffirming to me how good a choice it is, I think, honestly.
Or Andre Braugher, who's Captain Holt.
Captain Holt.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'm in on that one. That's hilarious. Love Andre Braugher. Brauer, is that it?
It's like, I don't know if I pronounced it right. Braughger.
Gher. Wouldn't have guessed that one. All right. So up to the big three here. Luigi, currently played by Charlie Day. I'm saying it. We bring him back. John Leguizamo. Come on. He was the best part of the original Mario Brothers movie. He deserves his shot at redemption.
No.
Who do you want?
I don't know. I'm looking up Italian American actors at the moment. Let's see who would fit.
Let's find out. Italian.
Robert De Niro's not going to work. Neither's Al Pacino.
I remember I said that as a joke. I think I was like, "Yeah, get De Niro in there." He's like, "These mushrooms."
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, Danny is Mario. All right, spoiler alert. That's the real answer.
What about? And I can't pronounce. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name probably. Dan Castellaneta, who plays Homer Simpson, and we just get him in to do Luigi. And he must be able to do another voice other than Homer.
He does other voices, yeah. I don't hate that. That's like a real actual voice actor too, you know? What about we could do how about John Travolta?
Oh my God.
Pull him out of retirement, you know?
Why is Frankie Muniz on this list? Is he Italian?
Is he?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I don't want him anywhere near this movie.
You got a problem with Frankie Muniz? How about Paul Giamatti? He could be Mario, actually.
He's solid. He does good work.
I'll keep in mind. That's not bad, actually. Paul Giamatti. You know, who knows? What about? What about what's James Gandolfini's son's name? The one who's playing him in a movie. Pull him out.
Buscemi.
Oh,
Steve Buscemi. Oh
Steve Buscemi as Luigi is not a bad call, actually.
That
he's got that voice.
Yeah, like he's got a higher kind of like more.
Yeah.
You know what? I like that. You know what, Chuy? That's you struck gold.
Or what about Vin Diesel? We love him so much.
I feel like if we were gonna put Vin in this thing, Spike would have been the role for him. You know?
Yeah. Oh well. Vin's just gonna have to keep driving cars and smelling amazing.
Yeah.
Remember we did that whole episode.
We did a whole episode about what does Vin Diesel smell like, you know?
Amazing.
We probably should have gotten him on this list like we did Ed Helms, you know, keep the lore going, but okay. All right, so last two, we got Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach. We have to replace her. Who do we think?
I want a badass. I don't want someone who's like just gonna get captured by Bowser. I want someone who's fighting back, and it's like a little bit of a different story.
You know who came to mind for me first was Florence Pugh.
I don't know who that is.
Midsummer? No? She was in Little Women?
She's solid.
She's in Black Widow? Okay.
I don't watch many movies.
You gotta watch more movies, bro.
No.
I like her. I don't know. Who else could we get? You want a badass? Who's a badass?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
What about like Charlize Theron? She's
That's true.
hardcore.
I'd be fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where we're going? Did we get it right? Did we nail it? I think she could do it.
You know, did they pick Anya Taylor-Joy to play like young Furiosa for like the?
Oh my God!
Mad
Yeah,
Max
you're
people?
right. She is playing young
So I
Furiosa.
feel like I was like, there's some connection here. I feel like
There's internal consistency to that ridiculous choice. Yeah, I wouldn't say no to that one. Trying to think of like
think
other
I'm
like. Oh, you know who might be good if we want to go like the more like traditional voice actor, like maybe like Tara Strong.
Oh yeah, she's all over the place.
She's like an A tier voice actor.
Yeah, she even made it into Loki recently.
Yeah, she was Miss Minutes.
Hmm
But she's like everybody, right? Like she's like done
Yeah.
so. She's one of those
She does it all.
insanely
God, she
prolific.
was in the Rugrats.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, dude. She's in fucking everything. She's one of those people where you go to her Wikipedia page and her filmography is the second page. Because it's
No.
yeah, straight up.
Hmm
Because she has too many roles.
Wow,
Fun
she's
fact:
a hard worker.
she was in the Super Mario World TV show as Lemmy Koopa and Iggy Koopa. So she's got the history there too.
Yeah.
I say we call her up to the big
She's
leagues.
Spike.
She could have been Spike.
I'd
Yeah.
be fine with that. Or who's the one that plays Leela in Futurama? I always liked her as a voice actress.
What's her name from Married with Children?
Yeah, I really like her.
Gosh, what is her name?
Looking it up. Katie
Sagal.
Sagal? Yeah, Katie Sagal.
Yeah. I think she'd be an alright princess.
That's an interesting choice.
Because she would bring the like, I'm a princess, but I don't really want to be a princess. I was just born into the role, and I'm a badass adventurer, and I'm going off with Mario around the
You
world.
know what? We want a badass woman. I've been watching, like I said, Fast and the Furious, Michelle Rodriguez. Peach.
Oh my God, has she ever done any voice acting?
I honestly don't know.
I wonder. Michelle Rodriguez.
That had Vin Diesel until he was in Despicable Me.
Iron Giant.
Oh,
yeah, and he
What was
won an
Iron Giant
award
in
for
this
that, bro.
I do not know how he ever got casted for that. She's been in video games, so yes, she has done voice acting. She was in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and James Cameron's Avatar, the game, as well as Halo 2. She played a Marine in Halo 2.
All right, so it's not unfounded.
Sorry, I just saw another credit for Fast and the Furious Crossroads video game. She's playing
Oh,
herself.
no.
Oh damn, she's gonna be in the Dungeons and Dragons movie apparently. That's pretty cool. I didn't know they were making that. That'll probably only be a little terrible.
Pretty bad.
All right, where are we going on this?
I love that film.
I feel like
I
we
don't
just
know.
we're throwing out more and more options. I feel like we got.
I like Michelle Rodriguez.
Okay, it's done. Nope. Michelle Rodriguez as Peach, and then finally the main event, Mr. Mario. So this
I
one we
agree
got
with you.
a ton of people wrote in. Zayd hit us with the obvious choice of Charles Martinet. Of course, we all love to see that. I'm sorry, and of course, Zayd is one of our Patreon producers. Affy, another one of our Patreon supporters, said Danny DeVito.
Yeah. I think they got a slam dunk when they said Danny DeVito. I was like,
I really do think
100%.
that's a great one.
But part of me really wanted to see what Charles Martinet would do if Mario was just speaking, just like
for a whole movie. Yeah,
for a whole movie. Like, can he keep that up for the whole movie?
It's kind of insane to me that they're not having him do it, because it's like he's the only voice Mario's ever had.
Like I said, there's got to be a reason. He's in the movie, probably voicing Mario. And my guess is the story is they magically get voices, or they stumble into another world outside of the Mushroom Kingdom, and then they've got different voices.
I think it's because he also voices like Luigi and Wario, and he's like basically the whole crew.
Yeah, definitely.
Who does Toad? I really want to know who does Toad.
Oh, I had looked it up earlier. It's no, I don't know. I closed that tab.
Voice.
But yeah, I think the thing is, like, he just voices so many of them already. Like that whole Wario thing recently, where he was like, "Twitter sucks."
Yeah,
that was him.
Oh, I loved that so much. That was so funny.
He's just everybody. Steve's dad, another one of our Patreon supporters, said Gino DiCampo. Tyler Olson, another one of our...
Do either of you know who that is, though? Because it's the worst suggestion anyone could ever come up with.
I have no idea.
He's an Italian celebrity chef. He has no acting experience whatsoever. Just a very, very, very thick Italian accent.
I love that. That's perfect. Tyler Olson said Joe Pesci. He's another one of our Patreon supporters. Tyler, not Joe.
Also pretty hilarious.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. If he's doing it, then we got to have Marissa Tomei as Peach, though. You know? Yeah. Just reunite the My Cousin Vinny duo. And then that doc guy, another one of our Patreon producers, said Captain Lou Albano, of course. He didn't say captain, but I'm adding the captain out of respect. But he said if they have to be alive, then easily Martinet. Of course, Captain Lou Albano played Mario on the Super Mario Super Show. Rest in peace.
Which we still need to do a full watch along of, because I've never seen that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. That would be a great thing to watch with the community. Yeah, I mean, I like all those picks, but I feel like the easy answer is it's really Danny DeVito. Like, yeah. I don't think you could have a better voice than that. I really just don't. You know, he's an Italian American icon, just like Mario. All right, so I'll take us through our list one more time for you audio listeners. So we have Finn Wolfhard as Spike, Christopher Walken as Cranky Kong, Gilbert Gottfried as Kamek, Ed Helms as Donkey Kong, Kristen Shaw as Toad, Andre Brower as Bowser, Steve Buscemi as Luigi, Michelle Rodriguez as Peach, and Danny DeVito as Mario, Jumpman Mario. Tell me that this isn't a better casting list, because... I might entertain that conversation, actually. Who's to say? But we start our campaign now, okay? We're recasting Chris Pratt as Danny DeVito. Get on board. Let's do it, all right, everybody? Start the hashtag Recall Mario, okay?
Oh, my God.
Anyway, thank you guys for joining us here on another episode of Nintendo Noise. If you enjoyed this show, make sure you give us a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share it with a friend. If you've got a friend out there who's into Nintendo stuff and you enjoy the show, you think they might too, let them know about us. If you want to support the show, of course, you can head over to patreon.com/flipscreengames, where at any level you can get access to One More Thing and listen to Steve and I talk about what animals we could beat in a fight. Of course, at the Blue Coin level, now we've got that new perk of getting the live streams, so go check that out. You can also become a Patreon producer. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff you can get over there that will give you nice little goodies and perks, while also helping us keep the mics and the lights on. And maybe I'll be able to get back in my basement one of these days. So yeah, thank you so much for your support. And if you don't have a buck to throw our way, that's fine. There's a lot of other ways you can support the show. Like I said, share it with a friend. Head over and give us one of those 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. We are really trying to rack those up right now to help the show get some more visibility. So if you're a video listener who's never listened on audio, go give us one of those. And if you're a audio listener who's never watched the video, go subscribe to the YouTube channel, right? Free to do, helps us out a lot. So if you could, we'd appreciate it. And then, of course, we'll be back next week Oh no, sorry, not next week with the spoiler cast. What are we doing next week, Steve? We got anything? What's going on?
Next week, you know, I have no idea what we're doing, but maybe it will be figuring out what a paid DLC for Animal Crossing will look like.
Oh, so if you want to hear that yeah, you know, that's what we're going to do next week. That's what we're going to do. Locking it in right now unless something crazy happens. So if you want to tune in for that, make sure you come back in next week. Hit that subscribe button, right? Turn on the notifications, all that fun stuff. Y'all know how to internet. So thank you for joining us here on another episode of Nintendo Noise. I've been Pete. He's been Steve, and he's been Chuy. Wait, this way. He's been Chuy. We've been Nintendo Noise. We'll see you next week, babies.